Hello and welcome to Spartan Spotlight, where we bring you all things regarding AU athletics. I'm Casey Patton. Today on the show we have the women's cross-country runner Emily Vanderwall and Jackie Shane, followed by men's cross-country runners Anthony Barrios and David Galvin. First, let's talk with Jackie and Emily. Jackie is a member of the women's cross-country team and is an Illinois native. She holds the NACC All-Conference title and holds the fastest record for AU's 6K at the NCAA Championships in 2016. Emily is a senior member of the cross-country team and also is from Illinois. She is honored by the NACC with the All-Sportsmanship Award this past year. Thank you both for joining us. All right. So let's start off with, what major are you guys?
I'm a nursing major.
You're a nursing major?
I would be a social worker.
And what do you guys plan to do after you graduate?
I'm planning on being a pediatric nurse.
Pediatric nurse.
After I graduate, I'd like to go into the master's program to continue my education.
With the social work field. Okay. Being juniors and seniors, what have you guys spent a decent amount here at Aurora, like a decent amount of time. What is an experience that you'll take with you when you leave the university?
Definitely a lot of sportsmanship, I think, at this university. Sportsmanship, a family kind of focus.
Yeah, definitely.
There is a lot of sportsmanship with all the athletics. There's a lot of fun activities that go on. It's really hard to pinpoint something specific. I think I'd have to say the teachers. They've really been a big influence on me.
Okay. How long have you guys been running competitively?
I've been running competitively for probably I'm going on my 5th year, I think, actually, now.
Really? So you haven't been running that long at all?
Not that long at all, no.
That's crazy. And
for me, almost a decade. This will be my 9th year.
Wow, that's ridiculous, because I can't justify running cross-country for more than a year. What motivates you guys to keep going?
Self-discipline, for sure, is a big motivation. I played a lot of other different sports before I started running, and it all just comes into self-discipline.
Probably the drive to improve and get better on the skill that I'm pretty decent at.
Okay. Jackie, as an accomplished junior, what have you learned in your 3 years on the team, and what do you think you'll take into your senior year?
Patience, for sure. Being patient, not only with running, but with school, too. Being a nursing major is a busy life, let me tell you. So definitely being patient is something I got to carry on with me throughout my nursing career and throughout running.
Okay. And Emily, as a senior, will you choose to continue your cross-country career post-grad? Like, will you continue to have running as part of your lifestyle?
Well, I still technically have eligibility left for next year for track, so I'll be trying to come back and do track for my, I guess, super senior year, but I will, yes, continue running.
Oh, awesome. Okay, how do you guys train for these events? Running distances got to be pretty painstaking on the body. What injuries and difficulties do you deal with?
So I've dealt with multiple ankle injuries. Coming in my freshman year here, I had a knee injury. New pair of shoes fixed that real quick. And recently I'm dealing with a pretty bad shin splint that's kind of set me back a little bit, but it all just comes into taking care of yourself, really.
Okay. How about you, Emily?
Fortunately, I haven't had anything too extreme on the injury case. I have had a case where I wasn't able to run one meet, but that wasn't too bad. It didn't set me back too far. It's been like the usual, sometimes occasional shin splints, being extra sore, or getting blisters on my feet. Nothing too extreme, though.
Okay, just basically all the standard issues that come with running. Yeah. Okay, how do you prepare for competitions? Do you have any special rituals, meals, stretches that you guys do?
Well, before every race day, so like the morning of race day, I have toast with banana and peanut butter. That's pretty much my go-to. And then stretching, we do it as a team together, but then after that I kind of do a little bit of my own, like hopping around, doing some strides, and just kind of shaking everything out.
Okay.
I don't exactly have a go-to meal. Pretty much whatever I have or whatever is provided for us. So any types of food. we do a lot of our dynamic stretches and strides together. There isn't really anything that I do specifically to make things go any easier than they could.
Okay, so you're sticking to the basics. See, and you guys probably get this question a lot, like running. Why do you guys run cross country? It's like running's a punishment for all of us. Like, why do you guys do that for fun?
So you're right about it being a punishment. And before I started running, I was actually dragged on to the team in high school. I never wanted to do it. I was kind of dragged on, ended up liking it. The more you do it, the more you realize that it's actually kind of like a stress reliever, and it becomes more of a lifestyle instead of just a competitive kind of like feature, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like since I started my 8th grade year, and it was kind of an ultimatum from my mother that I had to do a sport, and this was the one that I chose to do out of the two. I've kind of sort of just become addicted to it, even though that probably doesn't sound normal at all, because most people, again, don't really like running. I like to say that there's a love-hate relationship with running. A lot of times I like to talk about the runner's high I get after running, which is really euphoric, and I have a lot of fun messing around with that and just being as happy as I can be after.
All right. Understandable. So last question. Who has had the greatest impact on your athletic career? I mean, parents, coaches, basically anybody you can think of.
I think my dad has been the biggest influence on my career. He always wanted to run in high school, and he went to York in Elmhurst, so he went to a huge high school. And he did runs on his own, and I just recently found this out. But he did runs on his own, and he's always wanted to be a runner, and so me running and performing, competing for him, it's kind of like living what he wanted to do. So I always do my best just to make him happy.
For me, like I mentioned, my mom would probably be the one that has motivated me a lot since in the beginning in middle school. She's tried to come to every cross-country race or every track race. During college, it's a little bit harder since things are so far away, but I would always see her with her camera taking pictures, even though they turn out terrible, because nobody looks good running. And I would just see her like cheering for me. Now every time she whistles for me, I automatically think it's her, even though I know that she's not there. But she's always in the back of my mind saying you got to do it, you got to push, keep going, you can do it.
Well, that's great. It seems like you guys have a lot of support and motivation to do what you do. All right, thanks for joining us today. Now let's take a look at our video segment for the week produced by Jalen Prince.
How's everyone doing today? I'm Jalen Prince, and I'm with AU Spartan Media. Today we have joining us is Alex Blair. How's it going, Alex?
Good. How you doing today, Jalen?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Awesome.
The reason we got him here today, Alex is a senior, and he has played on the football team for the past 4 years, so I wanted to bring him in. And honestly, let's get to know Alex a little bit. You want to tell us about yourself, man?
Sure. So, as Jalen said, I'm a senior. I'm a finance major, and I played on the football team for the last 4 years. I'm from Austin, Texas originally, so we actually went to high school together and middle school. So I've known Jalen for what are we at now?
I mean,
10?
Yeah, 10 plus years,
decade.
Easily, yeah.
So, I mean, came up here. I've always wanted to see Chicago. It's a great, business hub, and it was really good for my major, and just, decided to be a worldly person, so I figured the best way to do that is do a little bit of travel, and what better time to do it than in college. So that got me up here. The winters are a little bit colder than I'm used to, but other than that, it's a pretty good place to be at. So,
well, I know you short on time today, so let's just jump right into it, man. If you could tell me one of your greatest accomplishments of being on the football team in the past 4 years, what would that be?
I think definitely just sticking with it the last 4 years. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries that have limited time, and then I just actually came off this year with another injury with my ankle. So just kind of going through those trials and tribulations and being able to stick it out and do something not a lot of people, get the opportunity to do and play for 4 years. It was, I think, a real big personal accomplishment for me, just proving to myself that I could, get through all that. So that was a big push for me.
What does it mean for you to be an AU Spartan? Now that it's finally over and you can reflect back, what does it mean to you?
I think the biggest thing about being a student here and being a Spartan is just taking advantage of the opportunities you're given. Whether it's athletics or academics, you're in really a great environment that has a lot of professionals that are faculty that bring their expertise and their connections, and they really give you an opportunity to kind of take advantage of that, and you get to know those people that they know, and they really build a relationship with you that you don't get at some bigger schools. So that's been really key for me. I've gotten to meet a lot of great people in my time here.
Well, thanks, Alex. It was nice meeting with you today, man. I really appreciate your time. I wish you the best after college and everything, and kudos to you for sticking it out for the past 4 years. So, this is Jalen Prince with AU Spartan Media. I hope everybody else has a great rest of your day. Thanks.
Welcome back. I'm now here with Anthony and David. Anthony is a senior member of the men's cross-country team and is from Chicago, Illinois. David is a sophomore member of the team and is an Aurora native. Both Anthony and David contributed to the men's cross-country team's 15th place finish at the 2017 Midwest Regional Conference. Welcome to Spartan Spotlight. Anthony and David, what brought you guys to AU?
Me personally, I thought it was just a nice small school, get to have like one-on-one experience with the teachers, and it was really cheap for financial aid. So it was nice just coming here, and it's not too far from Chicago as well.
For me, it was because it was close to home, and a couple of my cousins actually go here. Some of them graduated already, so I knew it was a pretty good school, according to them.
Yeah. How long have you guys both been running, and what makes you stick with running?
I started, 8 years ago, so my freshman year in high school. What keeps me running? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't even have an answer for that. One day I just started to just come out. My friend told me to come out, so I just came out. Thought it was okay, it wasn't bad, and I just stuck with it.
I started in 6th grade, which is a really long time, and I don't know, I just kind of like it, so just keep doing it.
Yeah, can't argue with that. What motivates you to keep going? Do you guys have any specific people in your life that have always encouraged you? Any special times that you remember throughout your career that somebody supported you?
For me, it might have been coaches in high school. They're like old guys, like 60, 70-year-old people. So they always like crack jokes with us, and they're just fun to be around. So ever since then, they kind of like pushed me to get better every single year going on forward.
My coach in high school was actually awesome because he would run with us all the time, but like it was like we could actually like talk to him. It's not like your average coach where he just like trains you and like you get better and he watches you get better. Like
there's sort of like a
this
bond
connection.
There.
Yeah.
David, with 2 full seasons under your belt, what will you continue or change for the next 2 years coming up with cross country?
I'm a trust far because apparently what I've been doing has been working, so I'm gonna just keep it going.
Yeah, can't beat or can't fix the broken. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Thinking into the future, how will you guys incorporate the love of running into your careers or hobbies? Is it something that you're going to continue to do forever? Is there any way you can continue running cross country after you graduate?
So I know like once the season ends, so this is my last season cross country, I actually signed up for the Chicago Marathon next year. So hopefully by December I get a notification, see if I get into that, if I get accepted. And as it goes for hobbies, running is kind of like keeps you really like time management wise, because you always need to be on practice on time. You need to like pretty much revolve your schedule around running just so you can keep doing it as a sport here. So just time management, basically.
How about you?
Was help me make time for what I want to do. So now that once I leave, like once I don't have to run at a certain time, I'll have all this extra time to work with, and I'm like, okay, I can do this in the morning and do that later. Like it just helped me set a schedule, and yeah.
Just work it more into your leisure time, I see. What is one memory that sticks out of your cross-country career here at Aurora that you're going to take with you?
Definitely for cross-country, it'd be our conference meet that we had this year. Before, I never made it to all conference before, and I was never in the top 15. And then out of nowhere, I got 4th place, so definitely something that will stick with me.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank
How
you.
about you?
It was just so much conference meet. It was so much fun running with Barrios. Yeah, it was a fun time. I came up runner-up. It was all right. It was all right.
Oh, looking
Forgot what
back
to
on this
say.
past season, what's one thing that you could have done differently?
Probably say maybe work a little bit harder. I mean, you can always work harder to get better. So, I mean, looking back at it, I thought I put a lot of work in, but at the same time, you can always get better. You know, there's always improvements that you can do, like little things.
Probably sleep more.
Sleep more, of course. All right, well, thank you both for joining us, and that concludes this episode of Spartan Spotlight. That is all the time we have here today on Spartan Spotlight. Join us next time, and be great today, Spartans. If you would like to join us for a show or have any suggestions for a show, we would... Blah, 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 blah. I started changing it up too much.
I didn't realize how much that's Spartan Spotlight.
Yeah,
Okay, if you...
that wasn't me. It really... Thank you both for joining us, and that concludes this episode of Spartan Spotlight. That is all the time we have today. Join us next time, and be great today, Spartans. If you would like to show your love for Spartan Spotlight or have any suggestions for us or would like to be on the show, find us on Twitter at AU Spartan Media. And a big thanks to our guests, Jackie, Emily, Anthony, and David, for being on the show today. I'm your host, Casey Pettin. Until next time.